hey out there in Facebook land. Hello, lovely Max. It is, Mom Jones and Miss Bradley here, delivering another coffee chat with you. Wait a minute, where did she go? Did you mute yourself? You muted yourself. I didn't mute you. I didn't mute you.
Okay, unmute. Yes,
Okay,
it said host muted.
I didn't. I swear to you, I didn't. I didn't mute you. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet.
I know I'm a Georgia fan, but you don't have to do me like that, Sybil.
I mean, you know, that bulldog fan. Y'all, let me tell y'all. So, Hope here, Matt Hope online. We still haven't officially met. But other than chatting online, and all was good until one day she said she was a Georgia Bulldog fan. I had to give her the side eye because I'm a volunteer, Tennessee Vols.
But you too much in. It was too late. You were too far in.
Right, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna keep her around. Keep her around. So we are here. We're going to chat with you guys today. I have the phone up so I can check any comments that may come through. I usually miss those sometimes because the struggle is real. We are recording this, so if you are watching the recording on YouTube or on a Facebook page, hello. Just bear with us because I don't edit. You get real raw and random up in here. So let's go ahead. I'm going to read Hope's bio, and then she's going to just dive in and tell us more about her fabulous self. All right. So Erika Hope, right? Let me address this. Hope, I call her Hope. So when I saw Erika, I was like, who the heck is Erika? I was confused. I was so confused. And so I'm like, okay, all right.
Erika's the business side.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have Hope today.
Exactly. I'm just extra enough. I need two names.
So, Erika Hope Bradley is a military spouse advocate, nonprofit leader, freelance writer, and public speaker. She's passionate about raising the awareness of the mental health challenges dependents face and removing the stigma. So, tell us, Miss Erika. We're gonna go the professional side first.
Right now, y'all. So I apologize for any noise, but we're in the South on the front porch at my mama's house. So if y'all hear Harleys drive by, just ignore it. You know, I have my big Southern hat and I'm front porch sitting. That's only right when you're in South Carolina. This is tradition. So
I have to turn my volume up. Hold on, girl. Let me turn my volume up.
Okay.
Let me turn my volume up so I can hear you. Because I think I'm getting old. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just me. I have kind of been saddened by the decline of community, really, in the military space. We've been in for 13 years, and I feel like it's not the same. We are not as proactive about loving on each other and being real with each other and being there for each other as we used to be. And I don't know if it's just the new digital age of everything where we feel like we're connected digitally so much that we forget that sometimes people just need a hug. Yes. Sometimes people need to see your face in real life and be able to look into your eyes and know that you understand what they're going through. And so I feel like a lot of that is missing in society in general, but also just really specifically within the military community where we really need community. We really need each other. And we need to be honest about the fact that we need each other. We need to be honest about the things that we go through. It's all good to go to the command functions and have everything put together and be, Miss Military Spouse or Mr. Military Spouse and act like you've got it all under control. But we all know sometimes when you go home and close the front door at night or close your bedroom door at night after you put the babies to sleep, it's a different story. And you're stuck alone with your reality and the possibility of facing however many more days it might be by yourself. And that can be scary and that can be hard. So I just really want us as a military community to be honest and transparent with each other, and then to love on each other and give each other a little bit of grace and be able to say, hey, I've been there before and it's not easy, and it's okay that you feel like this. You're entitled to this. You're entitled to struggle with this, because everybody does. No matter what we put on Facebook or our social media about how we've got everything together and whatever, the struggle is real.
Struggle is real.
Yeah. So I want people to own that and to be honest with each other about that, and to extend some grace to other people.
So as you said, you've been a military spouse for 13 years. When did you come to terms with knowing that you needed community? Was it at the very beginning, or?
So at the very beginning, I had community and it was amazing. So our first duty station was in Hawaii, and anybody that's been like Hawaii or overseas knows that the culture is a little bit different there. Like you're almost forced into that community, whether you want it or not, because if you're not local, you're military. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like a lot of times it's very good because the community is proactive there to kind of reach out and be there for each other. And so I didn't even know I needed community, but the people around me did. Mm-hmm. And so I would have, my friends, when my husband left for training, I would have my friends come and just knock on my door. They hadn't seen me in 3 or 4 days at play group or at the different activities that I used to go and do. And so they would just show up and knock on my door and be like, excuse me, miss, where you been? What's going on? Like, what do we need to do? And so I didn't even know I needed it, but I definitely needed it, because I would just kind of get in a slump and just kind of get
hold on.
Feeling funky.
Hold on. Someone's ringing my doorbell.
Carlos.
Hold on. Someone's ringing my doorbell. I'm sorry. Live TV. Hold on.
Carlos strikes again.
Sorry. That was my husband.
No, I love it.
Sorry. That was my husband.
Carlos strikes again. It's all good. But yeah, so I didn't even know that I needed that, and it was given to me early on, and then the further I got along into all the things, I've birthed a baby without him. I've buried loved ones without him. I have sat on my couch and watched the ship that he was on fire in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean on CNN. And not heard from anybody for 16 hours after the fact. I've gotten Facebook updates about search and rescue being done on ships he was in during the 7th Fleet summer, when that was the Fitzgerald and the McCain had their accidents. So it's been a challenging road, and it really has been my friends that have gotten me through some of that. Because when you're so far away from family, you're on different time zones, and you can't necessarily call your mama at 3 a.m., which I love my mama and we're best friends and I thank God for her. And you don't want to put the burden on your service member of all of the stress that you're experiencing at home, whether it's parenting or whether it's personal stuff. Those friends are life. Like, they're my sisters, and they will be my sisters. We'll be 70 years old sitting in nursing homes, texting each other gifts and talking about the time we did craziness in Sasebo, Japan.
You said when you're 70 in the nursing home? Is that what you said? 70? Girl, no. 70, we're going to still be out here, ripping and running.
That's true. Okay, 80 and 90. That's right, 80 and 90. And 70, we'll be in Vegas on the Strip.
So, Hope,
Sorry,
what?
I can't.
You said when you're 70. Why did that? I'm sorry. So, tell me, as a you're a seasoned mill spouse, what
Right.
piece of advice would you have for a new military spouse when it comes to community? Because I will tell you, when I became a military spouse, I did not want anyone. I felt like I didn't need um I didn't need military spouse friends. I didn't want military spouse friends because there was this whole idea that I first of all I knew nothing about military life.
Right.
Right? But only what I heard, which was always the great part of having connections with the military spouse world. So I went in, I don't want to be friends. Like I just need my civilian friends and my family, which, like you said, were thousands of miles away. So really just been by myself. So what advice would you have for a new spouse who is entering this world and has that idea of, I don't need to be involved with military spouse community?
So I understand that. I get that. I think we've all had experiences where we've been burned, we've been hurt, we've been disappointed, we've been talked about, and there is that stigma of the military spouse community where we're just can act like mean girls, if you will. But honestly, I feel like women in general.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, some women just never leave high school and they just always behave like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be, I'm not saying just go be friends with everybody. You definitely have to be selective and you definitely have to protect your energy. But I feel like that is a staple of womanhood, period. Like you find out who is worth it and who, so that's my thing. There's different seasons for different life and different relationships for different purposes. Mm-hmm. So there have been in relationships in my life where the people have poured into me and have loved on me, but at the same time, I have been pouring into somebody that maybe necessarily I wouldn't befriend because I would think, oh, they're messy and they're whatever. But when I stepped back and looked at it, I was like, well, people probably could have said the same thing about me 5 or 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So maybe I just need to give her a chance, and maybe she just needs somebody to love on her and somebody to pour into her right now. Maybe she's just in this season of life where it's just hard and she doesn't know what to do with it, and I can help her. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to have both of it. Like you need somebody who's on like equal terms with you, where y'all are really pouring into each other and walking through the same, or similar seasons of life where you can really relate with each other and stuff like that. But I also think as seasoned spouses, and even as maybe new spouses that just have a little bit better grip on like life and personal experience and a worldview that might be different from somebody else, like we can teach each other stuff too. There's, and I have women come to me and say, thank you for that, because nobody took the time to tell me that, or nobody took the time to show me that, or whatever. So I think, you have to also be willing to love on some of the people that maybe seem a little bit unlovable. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying let them in and let them know about all the things and whatever, but at the same time, you can still be kind. Like it doesn't take anything to be kind to somebody and to love on somebody a little bit. So I think it's just military spouses are going to understand you in a way that nobody else will. Your family is not going to understand you like that. Your civilian friends aren't going to understand you like that. They're just not. It's a different life experience. It's a different reality. And so you're going to need those people at some point or another. It might not be right off, but you're going to hit a season of life, whether it's in your marriage, whether it's in your parenting, whether it's in your desire not to be a military spouse anymore. I mean, there's been times where I'm like, I wish he was done. I'm done with this. I'm done. I want to wash my hands, like whatever. And then had to have people come along and say, well, look at all the great things. Like, yeah, there is this craziness and this whatever, but look at all the blessings, and kind of help me see the silver lining in that. And so eventually you're going to need them. Just be open.
Yeah, because I remember for us, our very first TV station was Kings Bay, Georgia. Kings Bay, Georgia. And I was like, nope, I'm not talking to anyone. I just need to be in my house. We had 2 dogs at the time. We were young and, newlywed and living life. And he left, and I was like, huh. Oh, okay. Now what? And there were questions that I had that, as you said, my civilian friends did not know. They didn't have the answer. And so it was like, okay, let me go ask these spouses over here about this. And I try to keep everybody at an arm's length distance. But I actually made my very best, and I don't even want to just call her my best male spouse friend there, but one of my best friends who became like a sister to me there. And we were the same age, but her husband had been in a little bit longer because Marcus was, and her husband was right out of high school. So Marcus had done college and then went to OCS. So she knew more of the road. And she just kind of took me in under her wings, and because I'm like, girl, I don't know what this is. What are they talking? Acronyms. That was the whole thing. What are they talking about? And she was there with me for, entering that life. She was there with me when I had my first daughter. We remained friends. She unfortunately passed away unexpectedly. And I still to this day remember everything that she shared with me. Sometimes she was mean to me. She gave me tough love, but I look back on all of that, and I think about how I originally felt. Like, I don't want a military spouse friend. Like, these women are, I'll say it, I thought crazy. Because I didn't understand the life, and now here I am, 18. I've been with my husband for 18 years, and I'm now that military spouse that people probably look at crazy. I'm wild and free, so but yeah, we need that love. Don't hug me though. Don't hug me. Don't hug me. Don't hug me. I'm from the north, but I'm not a hugger. I'm not a hugger. So, is there anything that you are working on to the military spouse community?
So, I'm in that transition period. Every time we move over, we have to start over. It feels like it's not as bad.
How many times have you PCS? And for our civilian friends, that means move. You just pack up and move somewhere.
So we just finished our 8th one in 13 years.
So you see, folks, so to our civilian watchers, that's a part of military life that people are unaware of. They know that we move, but I believe a lot of times they don't really realize how often it is and all the ins and outs, because a lot of times you have spouses who make that move alone, and you just did a whole
Yeah.
move cross country alone.
In the middle of April, in the middle of COVID shut down with 3 kids by myself. Yeah. So that was definitely one for the books. Now I'm like, whatever, y'all can move me wherever now. For sure. So I am just really working on being able to tell my story and share my story. I am a survivor of military domestic violence. My first husband was in the Army National Guard and was very abusive. And thank God I got out of that situation and was able to survive that. And then I reconnected with my high school sweetheart, who had recently joined the Navy when we reconnected. And I was like, oh no, not this again. So here I am, a military wife again. Been married to him for 13 years. But like I said, we were high school sweethearts, so we've known each other for 20 plus years, and been in each other's lives for 20 plus years. My oldest daughter is he was playing football at a military college in Georgia, and I was at a college right down the street, and we had our daughter at 20, super young, weren't ready for that yet, so kind of parted ways, and then the rest is history. God brought us back together. So
Nice.
it's been a journey. I definitely have a unique kind of story and life experience. So I just want to really reach the younger military spouses, especially those that are struggling with like mental health issues, because I did struggle with PTSD after leaving my abusive marriage for several years. And it was probably really complicated by the military lifestyle, by the frequent deployments where I was left by myself, by the moves, by just the stress that can be added to our plate. I think probably made my PTSD a little bit worse. And then the fact that I didn't seek help for it. I didn't acknowledge it even within myself, I don't think, because I was so worried about appearances. Okay. I was so busy trying to be completely put together, and like my kids had to be put together at all times, like and just appearing on the outside like I had everything together. I had worked, and I was PTO mom, and I was on the FRG board, and like I wanted everybody to always think like Hope has it together, like she is, yes. And then I went home at night and was like a basket case. Mm-hmm. So I just think it's important that we communicate that with the younger spouses that are coming in, that it's okay to feel this way, and that there are resources to get you help. Mm-hmm. And don't wait till it's too late. Mm-hmm. My heart has been completely broken by recent news. Blue Star Families, they put out their military survey, and it said that 2/3 of military families don't feel like they have somebody that they could ask for a favor. That broke my heart. Mm-hmm. To think that there are that many people that feel isolated and alone. Mm-hmm. Just disappoints me and upsets me, and it tells me that we're not doing our job. Mm-hmm. As seasoned spouses and as command leadership, if you will, mm-hmm. to really like take care of our people. Because mission first is the military mentality, but the mission can't come first if the families aren't being taken care of. Mm-hmm. And it's our job as the community to fill those gaps and to take care of our community. They're our brothers and sisters, and we are supposed to kind of fill those gaps for them. So that's really what I'm passionate about. And then also raising the awareness that it is like mental health is a thing for us too as dependents. Like everybody talks about veteran suicide, and there's tons of initiatives for that, and there needs to be. That is a huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm encouraged to see all of the work that's happening in that space. But I feel like spouses and our children are being left out of that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And after a nation at war for the last 18 plus years, the moves and the op tempo, which is the frequency of deployments, has taken its toll on our families.
Yeah.
So we're kind of suffering in silence and not really having those conversations in the dependent community, and we need to have those conversations.
Yes, I agree with you 100% because I know, I've met several spouses that, just in conversation, in a very informal conversation, they'll say things and it's like, have you gone to talk with someone professionally? Like, because there's a difference of you realizing that there are stressors and you just need to get certain things off your chest, and that may be some self-care, that may be hanging out with friends, whatever. But then there's other things that it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is a little more than a friendship can help you through. I think
Right.
and I know every duty station we've gone to, I do not recall there ever being anything available
Mm-hmm.
me as a dependent.
Right.
It's everything is getting my husband checked in, which yes, he has to get ready and go, but there is the only time, I know when we went to Japan, we had our sponsor, but that's another military spouse greeting you, helping you connect. We had a good sponsor that took care of us. I know sometimes I hear people say they don't have good sponsors. We had a great one. Like, we had food waiting for us, all that good stuff.
Awesome.
But I just remember seeing a lot of families come in and their spouse deploying right away. That's what happened with my husband. We got there, we were in the lodge, he had to go, and I'm like, wait a minute, we're in a foreign country, you gotta move. And my kids were little then. So I'm like, what? I don't even know how to drive. Like, what side of the road am I driving on here? But there wasn't anything available. And I would see, women, and I say women because I noticed the female spouses more so than the men spouses come in, and some of them would just, like, their whole world was just flipped upside down, and it's like, there's nothing. I mean, we went through the AOB classes to get accustomed to the country, but there was nothing there telling you where to go to seek help. And
Right.
as you mentioned about having that appearance, you have to, and it's like, no, there's been times I've cried in the shower. I walk out the door, I'm good, because you got to get your life together. But there have been times that you go, you're just like, I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. But everyone's stress level is different, the way everyone responds. Because I know for myself, I am more of, it's time to go, let's go. Yeah, I get excited. I get excited when it's time to move. Deployments don't really phase me too much either, but I always, like when we were in Japan, I found my tribe quick.
Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately, my tribe member was a Bama fan. But I found my people that were there, and help with the kids, and I think with military spouses, you have, so my husband hates when I say this, but I'm still saying it. And I say this about friendships in general. You have your good girlfriend, you have your acquaintances, and you have your hoe. Yeah, my husband is like, whoa, what? A friend of mine from college said that to me many, many moons ago, and I was really confused by it. I was like, what? What? And it was your good girlfriends that when you just had those days that you just needed to cry, you needed someone to just unload on. That's what they were for. Your acquaintances, they knew you, and you might unload on them in the beginning because it's still fresh. So you're not really at your breaking point. But because I struggled with that one when she told me that one, I was like, what? And it was, there's people in your life that they're not really there to know everything about your life, but they are to keep you busy. So she's like, you have, and again, this is when we were in college, you have your hoe, your shopping hoe, you have your eat out. I was like, oh. So when we move places, I figure out who is and sometimes it's just that duty station good girlfriend. That don't mean you're a lifelong good girlfriend. You may just be that duty station good girlfriend. Who my acquaintances are and who my hoes are. We all have hoes, and we're all a hoe. Like, I'm just saying it. Somebody is cringing right now because I'm saying this. We all are. We all are. Military or not, we all are, and it is okay because that's your purpose. And our last duty session, I had to check. I was like, whose hoe was I was a few people's hoes. But you know what? I was okay with that because when they were having a bad day, they knew I can call Sybil to go out to lunch because she won't want to eat. So we're going to go eat. We can have fun. And I had the same. I would call to eat, and it brightened up my day a little bit. So, I mean, that's just a little bit of advice for any military, anybody that's watching. If you get out the house and they ain't necessarily a good girlfriend, it's okay. You can still call them up to get out the house and brighten your day a little bit.
Yeah, and self-care is so important too. I think that's another thing we miss out on as moms and wives, and we just feel like, oh, that's selfish. Like, I can't go do that right now because that's selfish. Girl, go do it. You better go do it. Nobody's going to do it.
Look, I am selfish. I am selfish. I don't have a problem with telling you that. I am selfish. I am a firm believer in this. This is military. This is non-military. Whatever. My household, God, myself and my husband. Yes, we run very tight race because if I'm okay, he's okay.
Yep.
Then our children. Then the rest of my family, then my friends, then my business. Carlos is up in there too with the children because he don't let you forget about him. But I'm like, I have to make sure that I'm good. I take time every day. People laugh at me, but I take between 15 minutes to 1 hour every day for me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. I don't care. No one's bleeding. Everyone's good. This is time for me to get my life together. That doesn't count for shower time. I know a lot of times with moms, we're like, well, if we just get, no. That's a necessity in life. So that doesn't count for me as me time. That is just, I got to shower today because I don't want to be funky. But me time is literally just sitting down and I'm going to put myself first. That is something I have always done. That was something, my grandmother is 98 years old. And when I first started having kids, she said, Lucy, don't you forget about yourself.
Yep.
And she always said that to me, and that is what I have stuck with all my life. I am selfish. Anybody meet me, I'm selfish.
It's not selfish though, because we can't pour from an empty cup. Like, you just can't. Like,
Exactly.
if you're not good to you, you can't be good to anybody else. So we got to remember, just as women in general, like, it's okay. It's okay to say, I need a minute. It's okay to say, I'm going out to lunch with a girlfriend. Like, I was joking with my mama yesterday because my teenagers, girl, they just been something else. I'm like, Lord, these teenagers, I don't know how I'm going to survive these teenagers. So I was joking with my mama the other day because my husband's telling me he's going to be back, which I'm not holding my breath because we all know how that goes.
Right.
They say they're going to be back one time and then they're back. They're not back till like 3 months later. But anyway, I was like, well, I hope he does get back on such and such date because I'm leaving and it's a couple days before school starts and I don't even care. Like, he's going to come in with his sea bag and I'm going to be leaving.
And you're like,
okay, school starts in 4 days. Good luck. Have fun. Bye-bye. You get you some because you don't ever have to deal with this part of stuff. So it's your turn. Yeah. These teenagers are going to be the death of me.
You know what? The teenage parenting phase. Oh my gosh. So like, we're like way off topic, but that's okay. We rogue. That's how we roll. We're like random, but actually we didn't have a topic. Like when I do these, we just like vibe off of whatever. But you know, I remember when the girls, because I have 3 teenage, one preteen, 2 teen. And I remember when they were young, I was like, oh my gosh, like I am just so tired. Like, what is going on here? As they get older, I'm still tired. It's a different kind of tired, right? Because now they mentally drain you. Because you're like, what? What did you do? Why did you do that? Why would you say that? And you're like, are you sure you're my child? Like,
right? And then sometimes I'm like, am I supposed to like her? Because I don't like her. Like, I don't even like my child. And I hate saying that, but I'm like, I love her, but I want to choke her. Like,
yes.
I don't know. I'm not supposed to feel this way about my kid.
Yes. Well, I did tell Maya the other day, I was like, you know what? I don't like you right now. I said it, right? Like how you're thinking it, but then I said it. Yeah, I paused, and my husband looked at me and he was like, he's just like you. He's just like you. And I'm like, well, I don't like myself today either.
I think that's my problem too, Sybil. She's just like me. Yeah. It's scary.
Yes, you gotta love them. You gotta love them. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you this final question before we head out.
Okay.
I want you, because you know Mamas and Coffee's message is all about empowering women to always go the wrong way. So let me make sure. Well, actually, I have it on the cut. I don't know if it's backwards. Is it showing backwards? It might be showing backwards.
Yeah.
It is showing backwards. Well, okay, so I had it printed backwards, so it would show on the screen the correct way. But that's when I was doing the live straight from Facebook, which flipped it. So now I think doing it from Zoom, I need to print it the correct way so it's flipped. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is what it is. So our message is know you be you, love you, right? So I want you to tell us one thing you love
About myself?
that you love about you. Yes. Oh, hold on. Before you answer that, I know you have done another interview somewhere recently where you were talking about your past life.
Mm-hmm.
Is that public?
It's on Independent in the wellness lounge.
Okay. All right. Because I would love to have you come back.
Okay.
and talk about that if you are comfortable
Yeah.
doing that. Okay. But I will also give Max a teaser of doing it with independent. I've done some stuff with independent, and I thought that's where it was, but I wasn't sure. But I would love to have you, because I think that that is an important topic to talk about, and I think sometimes it's one of those we don't talk about. But I think it's important to hear. So if you are willing to do that, would love to have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Okay. All right. But she got excited about what you love about yourself. I like that. I like it. I like it. So, tell us.
Girl, I'm walking into my greatness. There's something about like after you turn 35, you're just like embracing all the things. Like, yes.
No, girl, you said 35. Girl, you still a young chicken.
No, I'm old. I'm saying after you turn 35.
Oh, after you turn that.
I'm not giving away my age now.
Girl, look. When people ask me how old I am, I say it loud and proud. Because I'm like, I'm looking good. I'm looking good for my age.
You do look good.
You looking
good. Ma'am, you do. You look fabulous.
I think you're close to age. Well, that's why when you said 35, I was like, wait a minute. Maybe I was wrong. But okay. All right. Go ahead.
You're right.
Okay.
Oh, goodness. So I love my past, as broken and as crazy and as messy, and as many mistakes as I made. I love being able to look back on that and see how God used it to make me who I am today, and also how he uses it to give me a heart for people that other people might not necessarily have a heart for. I'm able to really extend some grace and some understanding into some hard places with some hard people because of the things that I've been through. And so it took me a long time to get to this point to where I just fully embrace it, and I'm willing to talk about it, and I'm willing to share. But now that I'm here, I see all the ways that the broken pieces have made this beautiful collage of life. And I'm able to give other people hope.
With your name, Hope. Well, thank you, Miss Hope, for joining us today, and we look forward to having you back. I'm gonna look real quick to see if there's any questions. Said, appreciate you two sharing what a journey being in military life, but you two are so real, and I love it. Just a couple other comments. People saying, hey, 80 and 90. Oh, I think we were talking about the age, been old on the strip.
Yeah.
So thank you, Hope, for joining us today. And
thank you.
I look forward to having you back, because I do think that is a message that we need to hear as military spouses and just as women in general, because I do think that there are women who are in that position and they don't know what to do, how to get out. And even for women who are not, because I know there have been times that I've asked, well, why would you stay? And not really understanding everything that goes on, or the thought process, the mental process of everything. So thank you, and thank you for sharing your story and your hope your hope to the world and to the max. And I do have to say boo to them bulldogs.
I love you anyway, girl.
But I need to check that football schedule because, you know, I won't talk to you that week at all. Look, think you're going to have the nerve to pull up that cup. She just don't know. That is, you walk in the danger zone. Danger zone. You know what? I have a child that is interested in going to Georgia.
Yay!
I was like, that's a negative.
You'll have to wear red and black. It'll look good on you, Sybil.
I mean, my colors are red, white, and black. But I ain't wearing no bulldogs. Woo! Oh, look, that just hurt. But look, that's why I have on my orange. You see, I got my little orange on today. But anywho, thank you very much for joining us. And I am going to log off. I will keep it on. I'm going to log off here on Facebook. I'm going to keep it on. Then I'll say goodbye to you after I shut it all the way down. Hopefully I don't
lose
you because I did it before. Like, you know, I'm learning, girl. The struggle will be real sometimes.
All right, girl.